They have lied to us, they have deceived us, and we have the documented evidence.
When early Watchtower teachings that the world entered the so-called time of the end in 1799, that Jesus returned invisibly in 1874, and that the world would end in 1914 were proven false, doctrine was conveniently readjusted. In the new version, 1914 became the date of both Christ's invisible return and the beginning of the time of the end. This date was put forth not as theory or interpretation, but as hard, indisputable fact. Watchtower Society official Eugene Mortensen.
Jehovah's Witnesses from their study of the Bible have firm belief in the fact that since the fall of 1914, Jesus has come into kingdom power. And as he prophesied in the 24th chapter of Matthew, the generation who saw the beginning of this time would not pass away until all things would be accomplished. That means also the end of this wicked system of things.
The Watchtower Society is very concerned that time is running out for the so-called generation of 1914. The few who are still living are quite elderly, and should they all pass away before Armageddon, Jehovah's Witnesses will be faced with another false prophecy to explain. Anticipating this future embarrassment, the Chairman's Committee of the governing body actually prepared a document suggesting the date be changed from 1914 to 1957. Raymond Franz was a member of the governing body when this recommendation was considered.
Now, in this document, they suggest and advance as an idea that the generation that would see the time of the end of all things should not be counted from 1914. They fix on Jesus' statement that there would be signs in the heavens. And so they suggest here that the date should be moved up to 1957, when the Sputnik was sent into space by the Russians. And they say, now this is the celestial phenomena that would indicate the generation that would see the final wind-up.
The Sputnik idea was ultimately rejected by the governing body, but for the generation of 1914, time is running out.
How did the Watchtower arrive at 1914 as an all-important date? Their chronology is based on the year 607 BC, which they claim is the year Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians. Carl Olof Johnson, Swedish author of the book The Gentile Times Reconsidered, is a former Jehovah's Witness elder and pioneer minister.
I didn't question this chronology in the beginning because I thought the Bible supported it. I knew, of course, that historians dated the desolation of Jerusalem not in 607 but in 587 or 586. But in 1968 I conducted a Bible study with a man who wanted to know why historians they prefer the date 20 years later. So I started to investigate the matter, and I soon discovered that historians had very strong evidence in their support.
Johnson compiled his research and sent it to Watchtower headquarters, but the Society's leaders were determined to keep their doctrinal system intact.
I got a letter with a warning. I was warned that I should not share my findings with other witnesses.
To conceal the facts and suppress his 7 years of research, the Watchtower Society excommunicated Carl Olof Johnson.
Our teaching on Jesus Christ is that Jesus is the Son of God. He was the first thing that Jehovah created, and through him other creative works were done. Now, some religions teach that God and Jesus are one and the same, but the Bible does not teach that, and therefore neither do Jehovah's Witnesses.
We believe that the Bible teaches that Jesus carries out a number of functions or Jehovah God, the Most High. For example, in the Hebrew Scriptures, he is referred to as Michael. Michael, literally translated into English, means who is like God.
Witnesses believe that Jesus Christ is a spirit creature, a super angel, the first creation of Jehovah God, who prior to coming to earth as a man, existed in heaven as Michael the archangel. Jesus started out originally as the Logos, or Michael the archangel. Who then came to earth as the virgin-born Son of Mary. He was a perfect, sinless man. But he was only a man, devoid of all divinity. Jesus walked the earth as a man, becoming the Christ only when he was baptized. Jehovah's Witnesses hold the cross in contempt, feeling that it is nothing more than a pagan symbol used by apostate Christendom. Instead, they teach that at the completion of his ministry, Jesus died, not on the cross, but on an upright stake. Christ's body was then laid in a tomb, where it was disintegrated by God, totally destroyed forever. Jesus was then recreated by the Father. Before going to heaven, he materialized in different bodies on different occasions to convince his disciples and others that he had really been resurrected. Jesus returned to his Father in heaven, where once again he became Michael the archangel. He will never again be seen on the earth in visible form, but instead rules invisibly from the heavens. When he executes judgment over the world at Armageddon, he will destroy all but the faithful Jehovah's Witnesses. Jesus, alias Michael, will always remain invisible to those on earth and can be seen only by the 144,000 select Jehovah's Witnesses who rule with him from heaven.
They have lied to us, they have deceived us, and we have the documented evidence